I still can't believe it. Ace Frehley is gone. Spaceman, he was my gateway to rock and roll, to heavy rock guitars, to hard rock music, to beautiful soaring guitar solos. Ace, he was a magician. I loved his playing, man. I loved his persona, his character, his makeup. Ace was a god to me, a rock guitar god. And I think he's that to many of you listeners too. This video is about paying tribute to Ace. As a lifelong fan, Ace rocked my world, man. Like Kiss and Ace were the epitome of perfection, beauty. They were beauty and they were magic. They were absolute magic to me, man. They weren't just musicians. They weren't just a band. They weren't just music, although music is magic, man. It's beauty. But Ace, those guitar solos, man, that he gave us, and his songwriting. He wasn't only a guitar player. He was a songwriter. And his songs, Rip It Out, Cold Gin, Parasite, Getaway. If you like Getaway, I like Getaway personally. From Dress to Kill. I think Getaway is a good song. I love the solo in Getaway, by the way. Check out that solo. That's a great solo, man. And Shock Me, man. Come on. Any guitar player should listen to that and go, yeah, that's a damn good solo. That was beautiful, man. Like, Shock Me is awesome. The phrasing, the way he builds that solo, holy shit, that is a good solo, man. I love that. From the Love Gun album. Jesus, man. Love Gun, the solo in that is good. Just scaling up in the pentatonic blues scale, that was good. Look at the solo in I Stole Your Love. Beautiful solo. Stanley, Paul, he starts the song, or starts the solo, first half of it. He does a great job. I love the mood that he creates. And then Ace comes in and he rips, you know, it goes up the neck a little bit and finishes it off with like great lead. And Shout It Out Loud from Destroyer. That's where I was really introduced to Kiss. Destroyer was the first album that really, where the impact hit me. I think I heard Kiss Alive 1 before that, although I don't recall how much of it I knew or heard beforehand. I may even heard Dress to Kill a little bit too. But come Destroyer in 1976, that beautiful fold-out album, you know, it was a double, not a double album, but the album, the cardboard, whatever you fucking call it. You open it up and you're like looking at the lyrics of Detroit Rock City. You could read them and you see the wasteland. I love the wasteland. I am the Lord of the Wasteland from God of Thunder, right? And the beautiful solo in Detroit Rock City. I know Ace didn't write that, but him and Paul play it. And Ezrin probably wrote it, Bob Ezrin. But Kiss Destroyer, that album changed my life. That's when I was really taken from... Previously, before that album, I was listening to stuff like K-Tel records, you know, radio music, Elton John. I think I listened to quite a bit of Elton John, and I liked Elton John. But Kiss brought me into the hard rock world, and Ace was my guitar hero. I loved Ace. I loved when I first seen them in 1976. Gene and Paul were, or no, Gene and Ace were the guys that I were really kind of focused on, because I like that they were flashy, their characters were flashy, their makeup looked cool. Ace had the silver and just I loved Ace's design. His is my favorite. makeup design. Is, you know, if you're a Kiss fan, if you're not a Kiss fan, you'll be going, what the hell does that matter? Like, and I get it, but I mean, every band has an image. Angus Young, you never hear anyone crying about him being the schoolboy and doing his duck walk. Like, what? That's not a gimmick. Every band has a gimmick. Plant had his, you know, the macho sort of like, well, feminine kind of macho. Robert Plant, you know, and they had their Zoso magic costumes that like what do you call it? Jimmy Page with his, you know, mystical kind of thing, and also Richie Blackmore from Deep Purple. Everyone had a gimmick, man. Everyone, but only Kiss is called out for their gimmick. They're the ones who are ostracized for being, because they're too flashy. They're too in your face. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's rock and roll. Being in your face, being outrageous, being the freaks. Being a freak is rock and roll. You don't want to be a pussy who's like, you know, you get up there and you're just like, you know, you don't want to get up there in a suit and tie. This is rock and roll, man. It's about doing things that society doesn't deem to be acceptable in a way. There's a large amount of rebellion. Rebellion is a big part of rock and roll. Being a standard, you know, a stand-up guy who just stands there and just poses like a dumb hillbilly. I shouldn't say that, but that's not what I mean to say. I'm a bit. This has been brought to you by what the hell is this called? Crazy Uncle. Oh, I'm a crazy uncle. But so this is, I'm drinking some Crazy Uncle. It's peach. It's peach cream soda, and it's good. Like, I think it's 7%, but it's pretty tasty. A bit of a girly drink if you can't handle the more bitter, ale. Anyway, back to Ace, man. Ace, I'm telling you, man, that he was my guitar hero. Destroyer was the album, 1976, Kiss Destroyer. That turned me on to hard rock music, and I became a fanatic immediately. And I was so, it changed my life. I was so passionate about that, really passionate. The song, Shout It Out Loud, the album was Destroyer. The song that really hit me, that seemed to be my personal anthem back then, was Shout It Out Loud. So I have a personal affiliation, a personal connection to that song. All Kiss songs I do pretty much, or most of them. But Shout It Out Loud has a personal, in my history, my personal history, it's really important. And I just love it. And the guitar solo in that, man, that's like orgasmic. Simple, beautiful, but it's such a beautiful solo. Detroit Rock City, okay, we know that's beautiful. King of the Nighttime World, that Ace made that solo. Isn't that a beautiful solo? That's awesome. 100,000 Years, Mainline. I've listened to Mainline recently. I never used to listen to Mainline. Or I used to listen to it, but that's not what I'm trying to say. But Mainline, beautiful, beautiful little Skynyrd. It sounds like Lynyrd Skynyrd a little bit. He's got that chicken picking, a bit of that similar vibe. And sometimes Ace does have a bit of that Skynyrd vibe, or Skynyrd has a bit of that Ace vibe. A little bit sometimes. But anyway, I love that stuff. Like, and Shock Me, come on. Shock Me from Love Gun, 1977. I not dare. I challenge any guitar player who thinks he's so technical and so... like so far above Kiss, like someone who high and mighty, highfalutin guitar player, listen to Shock Me. Don't listen to it once. Listen to Shock Me a few times, and get the vibe for that solo, like get to know the song and the solo. And you tell me that that is a pedestrian, nondescript guitar solo that is really just average. I think if you tell me that, I'm not gonna believe you. That's a beautiful guitar solo, man. That's the epitome of Ace. Ace did an awesome job, that guitar solo, but he did so many. Almost, I don't know if I know any guitar solo of Kiss, the early Kiss. I don't know if I know any bad guitar solo or any solo that doesn't move me in some way. At least I'm trying to think if there's any guitar solo that I don't like or that I find really pedestrian. There must be one. How is Tomorrow and Tonight? No, I like Tomorrow and Tonight too. Even geez, Baby Driver, there's not really much of a guitar solo in there, but even that's everything. Like everything that Ace did, I'm trying to think. Just beautiful. He was like my guitar god. He was my guitar hero. Like I know a million people out there, man. Like there are thousands of people. Ace was the inspiration for getting into guitar. What, Tom Morello? Wasn't Dimebag Darrell from Pantera? So many of these bands. Alice in Chains, Cantrell, even Cobain. Kurt Cobain was into Kiss and that stuff, like Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun, the early Kiss. Slash from Guns N' Roses was into Kiss too. But I'm missing so many. I'm just catching, a tiny fraction of the famous guitar players that were into Kiss and that were introduced to hard rock music through Kiss, and specifically as guitarists influenced by Ace and inspired. Ace inspired me, man. Like Kiss inspired me. I love that band, man. Like, I grew to love. They are the gateway band. Started with Kiss. Cheap Trick was happening too around that time. A little bit after I got into Kiss, I really liked Cheap Trick too. And some other bands. A lot of these bands. I got into a little bit of Sabbath. Then I really got into Sabbath. And I love Sabbath. Beautiful band too. I love Sabbath. Black Sabbath. AC/DC. I really fell in love with that band too. Bon Scott era, but the Brian Johnson, the early Brian Johnson albums too, like the early 1980s. Great albums. Van Halen, man, I'm a huge Eddie Van Halen fan. Loved him. Loved Randy Rhoads. Really got into that with the first two Ozzy albums. Even a little bit of Jakey Lee from Bark at the Moon. I love Priest, Judas Priest. I love the guitar work. I love Lynyrd Skynyrd. Lynyrd Skynyrd, man, do some nice stuff. Brad Whitford from Aerosmith, some pretty good stuff, tasty. And Joe Perry. But Ace, man, like, to me, Ace, every friggin' song it's a highlight. The guitar solos were magical, and Ace brought so much. It's so sad. It's sad losing Ace, just like it was with Ozzy. I was really sad when Ozzy died. Like really, I went through quite a few periods, man. Like I was just choking up, man. I made a video of Ozzy Changes, and Changes and She's Gone from Never Say Die. And the Changes video, both of those songs, I was like for a few hours working on the videos, and I burst out crying a few times, like badly, like I was sobbing. And the other day when Ace passed away, I told myself, do not do what you did with Ozzy. Okay, just, because I felt the emotion when I first started. I went, you got choked up, and I went, no, hold it back. I tried to hold it back with Ozzy, and I kept on doing it, and it kept coming out, the emotion. I kept pulling it back. No, don't be emotional. I know it's not a good thing to do. I don't even know why I'm telling you. I don't know if I'm going to put this on video, or if I'm going to have to cut this out. I don't know if I should be telling you, because I think it's all right. There's nothing wrong with being emotional, right? Yeah, with Ace, the same thing happened the other day. I'm going, no, keep it. Okay, you're doing good. Yeah, just stay aware. Don't get emotional, and keep it in. And then I hit a point. 7 o'clock in the evening, I come down to the basement. I was just feeling a really dark mood, and bang, it hit me again. And I went back. I go, come on, man. Like, I haven't been, in recent years, I've been following Ace, but I've not been, as inspired by his recent stuff. Not at all. I've been kind of disappointed with his performances and everything. But I love Ace. I love what the band brought to me. It's every time you lose an artist like Ace or Ozzy, when they're that important to you, it feels like you're losing a part of yourself, or you're losing your history. You're losing, almost like you're losing a friend, or, they're kind of family, rock and roll family. And, they're your brothers. We're brothers and sisters, all of us rock and roll dudes and women, and it's just, it hurts kind of like, you're all right, but there's a part of you that, yeah, you get pulled, man. And I don't know how other people feel, but yeah, sometimes when it really hits you, and if you're in a bad place in your life, right, at times we go through sad times, but so when instances like these happen, you tend to be even more affected, but I'm just so thankful. It's like with Ozzy, you got to be thankful for these guys, man. Like, Kiss wasn't just a band to me. Like, they were magic. They were magicians. Musicians are magicians. Music is magic. Real magic. It's beautiful. And it's such a beautiful thing that music brings to the world, that people who create music and do. Man, music is the best thing in the world. It's so beautiful. And, man, I'm just so glad Ace, I'm so glad that Ace, like those solos, man, I could talk all day, go through solo after solo, right up till he left the band in, after The Elder, music from The Elder. And just like, and the songs he wrote, dude, Hard Times, Save Your Love, Rocket Ride, Shock Me, Torpedo Girl. Well, okay, that's kind of all right. It's got some cool stuff in it. I think it's all right. But and I even liked his first solo album a lot. Not Space Invaders. Frehley's Comet, I thought was really good. I really liked that. His playing seemed to take a dip then. Like it seemed like it was messier. I don't know if it was the sound, the tone, and everything of that, the recording and everything, but he may have laid off playing for quite a while too. But his writing, like Rock Soldiers, Into the Night, I know it's a cover song, but did a great version of that. And Stranger in a Strange Land, just so many good songs. I even like Dolls. Dolls from that album is really good. A lot of people hate it. I think it's great. I really like it. Character song. But Ace, the character, eh? That Les Paul guitar, too, by the way. I have always loved Les Paul guitars. That style, that shape, has always been my favorite guitar shape. Favorite guitar. just because of Ace, because he's my first guitar hero. He is the guitar hero who started it for me. And so I'm a Les Paul guy, kind of, even though I play a Warlock, a Phantom Warlock. I can't afford a Les Paul, never could really, but I have had some, Les Paul shaped guitars, but not the Gibson Les Paul. I had the Epiphone, a couple of Epiphones, a beautiful Epiphone that I can't believe I sold. And I got a Vibra, Japanese lawsuit guitar back in 1979 for Christmas that I bothered my mother. I bugged the hell out of my mother to buy me that guitar, that Les Paul Vibra, Japanese lawsuit guitar. And I sold it a year and a half later, stupidly, thinking that it was not a good guitar because the neck was a kind of misaligned, but that all that needed was a neck adjustment, like the truss rod, right? You could adjust the truss rod and other things, the bridge. And I never did that because I didn't know about that back then. And so I got rid of that guitar. I think I sold it for $50. It was originally, I think it was $180 or 100, yeah, with tax and everything, Canadian. I think I bought it at, was it Sears? I think it was Sears then, or Woolworths, I forget. But it was a beautiful black guitar. Oh, and when I seen that guitar, oh my God, that was heaven, man. That Christmas, seeing that guitar, beautiful. And I remember learning She, from Dress to Kill, She, and from the first live album, Kiss Alive. That's Strutter, man, Deuce. All these songs, man, great solos in them. Like, Got to Choose, beautiful, great little solo in there. All the Way, great solo in that. Rock Bottom, nice simple tune, nice simple solo. Great song that Paul and Ace wrote together. Great introduction to that song too. 100,000 Years, 100,000 Years. God damn, and Let Me Know. Listen to the solo and Let Me Know. That nice little... Ace had some really good licks early on too, but trying to think where I don't know where you'd say he peaked, because he did good stuff on all those early albums. But I would say, where was it? Like, geez, I tell you, Shock Me, man. I love Shock Me, the solo. I Want You's great. I know Paul does part of that. I Stole Your Love, Paul does half of that, and they both do great parts in that. Love Gun. Plaster Caster, I like that solo too. Damn, everything, like so many good. Flaming Youth, I'm not sure if that's Ace. Is that Ace? Does anyone know? Sounds a bit different than Ace, but I like that solo a lot. I really like that solo. Or the guitar licks. I don't know if you'd call it a full solo, but there's some guitar licks. Oh yeah, there is a solo. What am I talking about? Yeah, like that does sound like Ace a bit, the solo, but actually, yeah, the character of certain parts of that does sound like Ace. But man, I love Ace, the character too, right? The makeup. I mean, what a flashy, beautiful character, man. Like, and it was a nice juxtaposition towards Gene and Paul. They all had their characters. Gene, like ferocious. Ace, kind of spacey and cool and a little bit laid back, but also he had sometimes a bit of fury too and fire. And Paul was kind of fire. There's a lot of fire and passion in that. And Peter, like, they all had their character. But Ace, yeah, he had a real, I know a lot of people loved his character. And I get it, because I was one of those guys. Ace and Gene originally were the guys that I was drawn to just because of their characters. Later, I became a huge Paul fan because Paul's songwriting. But Ace showed himself. If you look over time, he didn't write a lot on every album for quite a while until we got to Dynasty, and that's when he wrote. He had the 2 songs on Dynasty in 1979. with Save Your Love and Hard Times, and he did the cover of the Rolling Stones cover of 2000 Man, and that was a great cover he did. His solo album, his 1978 solo album, Ace did a lot of great solo. Rip It Out, a killer tune. I love Rip It Out. Fractured Mirror, beautiful, beautiful. I even back then was a big fan of What's on Your Mind. I like that. Like he's got so many nice solos on that album too. Rocket Ride was a good solo from Alive, Kiss Alive 2, 1977. But man, Ace, what a character. Yeah, I loved him. I got frustrated with Ace later. Like I thought, you know, I didn't like the laziness. There's a lazy aspect where he let go of his chops and he got worse, became a worse player. But yeah, the drugs and everything took control, and he admitted that he was he tended to be a lazy guy. A lot of creative guys tend to be lazy. I don't know if they necessarily go hand in hand, but sometimes if you're creative and you have that lazy, we all have a laziness to us anyway. But sometimes you got to, you know, pull up your bootstraps, and you still got to maintain your discipline to, you know, keep your fingers going, and you got to keep yourself together. Like, see, I'm not keeping myself together, letting myself go a little bit. Once in a while, you got to lay back and let yourself go. But Ace, I love him, man, and so glad. So happy, man. Him and Ozzy, what a year. We lost those two guys. two of my big, you know, biggest rock heroes. Most important. I always touted, some people don't get mad at this, but I'm an Ozzy guy over a Dio guy, Black Sabbath. I love Heaven and Hell with Ronnie James Dio. And I love Ronnie James Dio on a Rainbow album, Long Live Rock and Roll. Beautiful, man. Some of that shit is great. But I'm an Ozzy guy. Like, I like the eerie Ozzy vibe in Sabbath. I love also the first two Ozzy albums with Randy Rhoads. And The Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman, 1980 and 1981. I even like, you know, a fair bit the Bark at the Moon to a certain degree, and I was going to say Speak of the Devil, but no, I even like No Rest for the Wicked. I think there's some really good stuff on there. Fire in the Sky is beautiful. But anyway, I'm getting away from Ace, because I'm drawing the line with Ace and Ozzy and putting them together because they both passed away. And, you know, like, yeah, they're friggin' huge, important people, man. Like, in any rock and roll over guy, any rocker, rock and roll over. But, where's Ace? Oh, he's getting cut out of the picture. But anyway, yeah, Ace, man, don't let anyone tell you that Kiss is a simple band. Don't agree with it. Don't go, yeah, Kiss was simple or basic, or, yeah, they weren't very good musicians. That's all bullshit. Those are lies. Don't buy into that. People are buying into that. And there's people who don't play or understand music or know anything about it. They don't know the vocal ranges of Paul and Gene and Peter and even Ace. Like, they don't understand the vocal power of that band. That, not the vocal power, the power that they had all around, the guitar power. You know, the skills, the bass skills. Like, everyone puts Gene down. That's absolutely stupid, man. Like, I was gonna make a video about how stupid people don't know anything about it. If you're gonna put Kiss down for being simple and bad, you better start putting Motorhead down, way down, because they're below Kiss, technically. Like, we're talking technically now. And I love Motorhead. I like Motorhead a lot. I don't love them like Kiss, but I'm a fan of Motorhead. You know, We Are the Road Crew. Yeah, I love it. You know, Love Me Like a Reptile. Yeah, I love it. Chase is Better Than Catch. Love it. Shoot You in the Back. Love it. Ace of Spades. Love them. You know, but come on, man. The Ramones, Motorhead, Motley Crue, AC/DC, shit, I could go on. Wasp, like Twisted Sister. I could go on, and you don't try and tell me that any of those bands are more technically gifted or above Kiss. Are you kidding? The Kiss craftsmanship is higher than any of those bands. And I'm a huge AC/DC fan. I'm a very big, just as much as Kiss. But don't try and tell me that Kiss is below them. Why are people not talking? They won't add that little caveat that, oh, AC/DC is great, but they're pretty simple, eh? Or, you don't hear that much. Or Ramones? Come on, Ramones? That's way down here. And I'm a Ramones fan. I like Ramones, the Ramones. But come on, you're going to tell me Sedated or I Just Want to Have Something to Do or Blitzkrieg Bop is... Come on, man. I've never even heard a difficult Ramones song. Like technically, come on. Don't even talk to me like that. They're acting like Kiss is like bottom of the barrel, which is a total joke, man. Like, man, these bands can't write bass lines like Gene Simmons wrote in the 70s. They can't play technically like Kiss did in the 80s. Like I said, Asylum or Animalize album, or Lick It Up, or Creatures, or even a lot of old Kiss songs like Watching You, or 100,000 Years. They had technical songs then too that were, like, come on, man. People have this stupid idea that Kiss is simple, basic, unintelligent music. That's a total lie. That's bullshit. I'm telling you that right now. Don't believe that, and people got to stop saying that because that's not true. And stop saying that Ace was a shitty guitar player. In the 70s, he definitely wasn't. In the 80s, he still played pretty good. And, like, are you going to say Johnny Ramone was better than Ace? Like even Fast Eddie Clarke from Motorhead. Come on, these are not like brilliant. Why do people not put these bands down? Maybe because they're not as big as Kiss was. I don't know. Or they're not as flamboyant and out there in your face. Kiss is very, I guess it disturbs some people. They're like freaks. They're to this or to that. Well, I'm telling you right now, that's why Kiss was great. That's part of why Kiss was great. Only one reason. There's many reasons they are great. But Ace, yeah, don't talk. I don't want to hear, oh, Ace. Yeah, Ace, he had the rock and roll spirit, the vibe, and he could write good solos. But yeah, he was a little bit messy. No, in the 70s, he was damn good on the studio albums. On the studio albums, live, he did some good stuff too. Like many guitarists, like Angus, when they do their live solo where it's the lone solo and they're just playing, yeah, they get a bit messy and shit. And those are not particularly interesting moments for me anyway in the concert. Although Ace did a good show, like with they had a good gimmick with the smoke guitar, and then it float away, at the end of his solo and all that. But those are just kind of like, they're more a performance piece. Like I'm literally like acting, right? It's more stage theatrics than it is about the music of the guitar solo in those parts of the live performance. But come on, the songs, come on, Shock Me, come on, man. Like beautiful. Dr. Love, great solo. Love 'Em, Leave 'Em from Rock and Roll Over. I could just keep going on and on. Room Service. Did I mention? I mentioned Getaway, the guitar solo. Jeez, come on, it's just over and over. That's a nice guitar solo too. So Ace, I got to get to drinking this again because I may be a bit too sober. So anyway, I love that band and I loved Ace. And I'm so thankful. Ace, we're going to miss you, but we'll always have your music. And I'm so thankful for Ace being in our lives and giving us what he gave us. So I know I missed a lot. I didn't say everything I wanted to say. There's a lot more I wanted to say, but I'm not doing this in an organized fashion. I should have had bullet points, but I want to get this done in a timely fashion before, you know, everyone starts forgetting about, you know, I gotta keep in touch with you guys too. And we gotta talk about this stuff. And I gotta probably stay more in tune with you guys and talk to you. I gotta talk to you, and I gotta post more, you know, I gotta post more videos and talk about this shit. And keep going, keep it rolling, man. Like rock and roll, right? We gotta keep going. We gotta fight for our right to party. Music is magic. It's beautiful. We're so lucky we had Ace. Thank God for Ace, man. Like, thank God. That changed my life. Kiss changed my life. Ace changed my life. I'm so thankful for that. And I'll never forget that. I'll always go back to that in my memory and re-experience it. So thank you, Ace. Thank you, Kiss. And we're saying goodbye to Ozzy and Ace this year. Thank you guys for listening. What am I doing? Am I doing a commercial here? Bye. Peach, or no, cream. Orange cream soda. Cream soda. By Crazy Uncle. Anyway, thank you for listening. Subscribe if you haven't. And stay tuned for more Kiss, Black Sabbath, Ozzy, AC/DC, Van Halen, David Lee Roth era, of course. No Sammy Hagar, sorry. And I hope I don't offend anyone with that. But if I did, I'm just being truthful. I gotta be truthful. I can't speak. But thank you for listening. Like the video and comment. Let us know. I want to know, you know, your experience with Ace and how you got into Kiss and what Ace means to you. Okay, so Ace Frehley, thank you so much. So happy that guy existed. So happy that we have his art, his songs, his music, his beautiful guitar solos. I love Ace. I love Kiss. Take care, guys. Have a good night, day, afternoon, morning, month.